In this tutorial in Cyberlink Power Director, we're going to look at how you can group elements together in the media room so you can be more efficient at finding and using them as a video editor. This comes as a result of an interaction with one of my subscribers. So I have this project and we have a whole bunch of elements here. We have some video, we have some images, and we have some audio files. How can I group them together? Let's say I want to group them in terms of scenes in my project. One of the ways I can do that is to create a subfolder. So I find an empty area in my media room and I right click, and then I can choose Create Folder from the pop-up menu. It will create a folder in the upper left corner, called it New Folder. I'll call it Scene 2. And when I click on it, I go inside it and I see that it's empty. So I'll go back up. And if I want to put something in there, all I need to do is drag and drop. Let's take this scene that you see on the screen in the preview, and I'll drop it right into that folder. And let's take another element. Let's take an image, and let's take an audio file. And if I click here, I'm going to see, when it opens up, I have all of these inside here. This is great. It's an easy way to organize it. I can also right-click here and create another folder. I could have a subfolder and a subfolder and another subfolder like any computer file system. But there's one element that I found awkward about this. When I put these elements in the folder, how do I get them back? Now, I have used the copilot to try to tell me how to do that, but its instructions are not correct. It doesn't work. It says I can right-click on this and then move it out of this folder, but I have no option on the current screen that allows me to do that. If I happen to delete this folder, it will delete these elements from my media room. It will not remove them from my hard drive system, but it will take them out of the media room completely. So if I decide I don't want these here and they're no longer in the main room, right now what I have to do is I right-click after I've selected them and I'm going to copy them. I'm going to go back up to the main screen and I'll paste them. So now I have them copied back to the main screen and I have another copy of them in the folder. So if I delete the folder now, I can click on remove or press the delete key. They will still stay in my media room. But that's a little bit awkward. That's why this is not the approach that I prefer. But you can use it if you want to stick things there and reload them into your media room later if you want. It's one way to organize elements. And you can use anything in that. Now that's a positive. I have some of these elements that have been downloaded from the stock media that's available, and they will go in just as well as anything else. But we're going to look at another option, and that's got a couple of tricks to it as well. So I'm going to open the side panel. And when I do at the lower left corner, I have these elements. They're called tags. I'm going to click on the tag with a plus, which says Add New Tag. So I have a new tag. I will call this tag Scene 2. Press Enter, and it will always appear at the top. So now I have a tag. It's empty. I haven't tagged anything in Scene 2. Let's close that out. And to tag something, I simply right-click on it and click on Add to Custom Tag. But look, it's grayed out. Why? In order for it to add to the tag, I have to have the tag visible in my file system here. It has to be open. It cannot be hidden like this. So if I have my media open and now I right-click, I can add that to the custom tag. I can have as many of these as I want. Right now I just have one called Scene 2, so we'll add that. We'll tag that. Okay, and I'll right-click and we'll tag this one here. And let's see what happens when we tag this element here. Now let me look at my tags. I'm going to click on Scene 2. And you notice it has the two images. It doesn't have the music file. Why? Well, let's go back to the main room. I'm going to pick a different music file. I'm going to do my search here. This one. I'll tag this to Scene 2. Go back and look at my tags. And this one it took. Why did it take this and not the others? You can tag anything into this area and call it a tag, but you cannot do it with stock media. You can't do it with stock footage. You cannot do it with stock audio. You can do it with anything that's not of that classification of a resource. So then the only limitation here is that you can't do stock stuff to tag it. And as far as untagging things, I don't know of an easy way to do that. I can move it to a different tag, but I don't know a way to untag it. Now, if I delete the tag, they're all untagged that way. But if I just want to say, I don't want this in this tag, I'm not sure how to do that. Again, I don't see how to undo that. So getting things in is easy in either case. Getting them out or changed is a little more difficult. So the other option is tagging, and that's probably what I would tend to do. But you have to make sure, again, you have this open, and then you can tag it. I could have scene 1 through 7 here if I wanted to, and then just tag each of these for each scene. When I go into these tags, it would show me only the media elements for that particular scene. So it would be, for me, that of all the options available currently, that would be the easiest, fastest way in which to isolate the elements for different segments in your project in Power Director.